Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this beautiful Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, sports, economics, and so much more. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into our top stories, the CEO of the Wildlife Ranching South Africa, Richard York, speaks about the value of hunting at the Wildlife Ranching Namibia Information Day. Elaine Smith was there and gave this report.
First, the wildlife economy is the renewable and sustainable gold of Africa. Now, what do we mean by that as being the renewable and sustainable gold of Africa? In the video, we made the comment and we said, not a single species in South Africa that's indigenous is facing extinction. Is that the same in Namibia? Is it not? That's under private ownership, is facing extinction. Because we can generate a value from it and because we can utilize it, we'll keep it. And it's that allows us as ranchers to have more wildlife in South Africa than even our protected areas. Of the census that was done recently, they estimate there's 20 million head of wildlife in South Africa. 16 million is in private ownership. So that's 80%. And I think that exact thing is the same for Namibia, as we discussed. If you have a look at our non-detrimental findings that were done in South Africa, this is for both South Africa and Namibia. You can see how the value of hunting can grow a population. This grey area, this is the white rhino population, this is the black rhino population. This grey area is when we applied hunting. That demonstrates the value of sustainable use and the value that hunting puts on the species to allow you to use excess males, generate funds, and look after your wildlife as the renewable gold.
Moving on, in our next story, Neville Andre Tope, the governor of the Erongo region, delivered a keynote address on behalf of Fisheries Minister Derek Claassen at the launch of the 12th National Fish Consumption Day. Frida Moloto was there.
The National Fish Consumption Day is an annual celebration of the fishery sector, as well as act as an avenue to promote fish consumption and education in the host region. The first edition was launched in 2012 in Swakopmund, Erongo region, and has since been held in 11 other regions. Happily, only 2 regions remains to host the NFCT, namely Kavango East and Ohangwena region. Distinguished guests, I commend NFCPT for successfully implementing and hosting this important initiative over the years and contributing massively towards the government's development agenda or developmental agenda. Therefore, I would like to congratulate the chairperson and the board of trustees, the chief executive officer, the management and the NFCPT staff for promoting the consumption of fish throughout Namibia, improving fish distribution, educating and empowering communities on the health benefit derived from fish consumption, and the best practices to prepare, clean and cook different fish cuisines.
Still in the coastal towns, Volvicha Hospital in Walvis Bay inaugurated its new pediatric ward recently. Hospital manager Stefan Nel shares more. Leandra Mower was there and gave this report.
We used to have a 11-bed pediatric ward. It was already built in 2001. And consistently over the years, that ward was basically the most full in terms of capacity, 80% plus. So that's one of the reasons why we planned to enhance and increase the volume that we can take in the pediatric ward. But also, we wanted to really make a higher standard ward. We wanted to use this to enhance the level. Like we've already done in our ICU and the general wards, we thought pediatrics is very important and children in Walvis Bay is very important. So it's a combination of more numbers. So we increased it from 11 beds to 19 beds. We've got 3 high care rooms, which is single rooms. We're standing one of them, and then the others are double rooms. Yeah, so we spent probably about 13 million on the building, and then all the equipment will probably take us up to 16 million.
How long did it take?
We started building last year, June. The first phase was done a year later in March, which is this new part. Remember, we had to build and continue providing a service in our busiest ward. So what we did, we cordoned off this area, the nursing station, and where the new area was built, and we ran the pediatric ward only from the room.
The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture recently held a regional engagement meeting in Rundu. The Minister, Esther Anna Ngipondoka, shares more. Nikano Nangolo was there and gave this report.
I'm saying colleagues because I'm a teacher. Have been there, challenges will be there, and they will continue to be there. But this ministry, which is mandated to give quality, inclusive, lifelong learning education, we cannot be excused by anybody. You will see how people make a lot of noise if children don't perform well. Nobody will say, these children are failing because we do not have enough classrooms in our, the classrooms are overcrowded, and inspectors don't even come to schools. Education officers don't have cars to go. People will say, teachers teach these children to pass. Principals lead the schools to work. No excuse. The expectations are very, very high on the Ministry of Education. It's education, it's health, it's urban and rural development. Those 3 especially. People don't have houses, children are not passing, the hospitals don't have medicines. Nobody excuses us, my dear colleagues. That's why it's very important for us to come together. In fact, for me, the year is not yet here until I sit, and stand and talk to our principals and we engage.
In the last of our top stories, the governor of the Commerce region, Laura McLeod Kashira, delivered the State of the Region address at the Commerce Region Council Chamber. She mentioned that one of the projects the Ministry of Youth, Sport and National Service supports is the Ongos Valley Sports Village and Stadium, designed to host over 30,000 spectators, which will be a beacon of national pride. She also stated that there has been an 18% annual growth of school learners in the past 6 years, with 72 fully fledged classes needed annually in the Commerce region. The renovation of the Hakahana Clinic has been completed to the tune of $1.2 million and is planned to be inaugurated on the 7th of August. Let's take a look at how that went.
Under the PEFA Dream Project funding, 9 adolescents, girls and young women benefited from the basic business startup kits, which include beauty salon, mini shop, takeaways and other trade initiatives. This initiative provides them with the means to start their own businesses, promoting economic independence and sustainability. Furthermore, a youth entrepreneurs or enterprise from Samora Machel constituency under the 121 youth enterprises received their startup loan as facilitated by the Development Bank of Namibia, promoting entrepreneurship and economic growth in our region. This initiative reflects our holistic approach to the youth development, encompassing education, health, economic empowerment, sports, and entrepreneurship. As we continue our efforts to create opportunities and champion the aspiration of our next generation. Under sports development, sports facilities, the ministry has budgeted 20 million under the operational budget for maintenance of a ministerial building and stadium, and that will include Katutura Sports Complex, the Ongos Valley Sports Stadium development with a capacity of 28,000 plus spectator seats has been launched this year in Moses Garot constituency. This development is poised to become a beacon of pride, equipped with state-of-the-art facilities designed to host a diverse range of sporting events and entertainment spectators.
That concludes our top stories. Don't forget that you can read more on these stories in our Namibian Sun tomorrow. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our story of the day.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Lily Brand, board chairperson, delivered remarks at the naming ceremony of the Ventukhosia Kutako Freeway to the late President Hage Geingob. Jemima Biekes contributed this video.
To our country and the Namibian nation. The Ladies Excellency Dr. Geingob was a visionary leader who dedicated his life to public service, advocating for unity, progress, and equality for all. As a Rosette County, we want to ensure that the current generation and those who will come after us will continue to echo the legacy of the late Dr. Geingob's name in Namibia. Moreover, the road that bears his name will serve as a lasting tribute to his enduring impact on our society. May this road be a symbol of resilience, progress, and unity. Values that the late Dr. His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob embodied throughout his life. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for joining us today to serve.
The Walvis Bay community members say they are tired of crime. In our community talk, we get into this.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Nuyoma Martinez, on behalf of the KZN community members, especially those living in the Steenbras, Topaz, and Opal streets, say they are tired of the crime in these areas. This is about the disappearance of Matthews Shihama, who was last seen on Saturday attending a braai at his girlfriend's residence. He was allegedly assaulted by 5 suspects at the braai and has since been missing. The 5 suspects have been arrested, with the 5th suspect expected to appear in court. Leandria Mowesh gave this report.
The reason why we are here, we are only having one aim. We want to find our brother, our cousin, and our son. We don't want this thing of Shannon to repeat itself here in Walvis Bay. And also our most intention, we want to fight against crime against in our community, because these boys and these criminal activities, they are too much in our community, especially in the Longo region, with Swakop and Walvis Bay. Things, injuries and robberies, they are happening each and every day. And like what happened to this, we are having sleepless nights, and we cannot tolerate this. And the whole community, they cannot tolerate this. We are tired, and we have also to engage with the parents of each and every parent who's having a son or a daughter who's engaging in these criminal activities and also in this drunks squatter and whatever, so that we must engage each other so that we can stop these criminal activities.
According to Economic News, Vunani wants a probe into Namdia's losses. We tackle these on the other side of the break.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into our economic news, the New Era reports the leader of the official opposition, McHenry Vunani, said the significant revenue losses of about $230 million at Namib Desert Diamonds are deeply troubling and warrant immediate and rigorous scrutiny. In a media statement on Wednesday, he called on the chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources, Chekero Tweya, to initiate a comprehensive parliamentary probe and inquiry into the matter. An expedited investigation is necessary to ascertain the full extent of the losses, identify any underlying issues, and hold accountable those responsible for this situation. A loss of such magnitude raises substantial concerns about financial management, transparency, and accountability within the organization, he stressed. He said Namdia, as a crucial entity in the national diamond sector, is entrusted with safeguarding and enhancing the country's valuable natural resources. That concludes our economic news. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.59, against the euro at 20.30, against the US dollar at 18.50. $2 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 1.33%, going for $77.09 per barrel. In international news, Nigerian protests fizzle out after deadly police crackdown. After the break, we expand on this. Getting into our international news, protests in Nigeria over the soaring cost of living ebbed on Monday, with only a few hundred people turning out in major cities following a deadly crackdown by security forces since the demonstration began last week. Hundreds of thousands of people have taken to the streets in the capital Abuja, Lagos, and other big cities during the protest against economic hardship and crime, which started on Thursday and were meant to continue until the 10th of August. Amnesty International said at least 13 people have been killed in clashes with police since the start of the protest, which were dubbed #10 Days of Rage, Police put the death toll at 7, saying some of the fatalities were caused by accidents and an explosive device. A tough police response and a call for a protest paused by President Bola Tinubu appeared to have dampened the demonstrations, which came weeks after data showed the annual inflation hit a 28-year high of 34.19% in June. In the commercial hub of Lagos, where demonstrations have begun largely peaceful, about 100 people gathered at the protest venue singing and chanting, "We are hungry." In Abuja, there were no signs of protest at the main stadium, where protesters have been gathering since Thursday. In the north of the country, about 200 protesters were dispersed by armed security forces in Maiduguri, capital of Borno State, while in Katsina, security forces fired tear gas at protesters who were chanting, "Hunger and insecurity is killing us." We now take a look at our weather predictions. Maruru can expect a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy conditions, while the capital city can expect a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. Hendy's Bay can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 11 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 7 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius with sunny weather conditions. We now take a look at what's happening with our Namibian athletes at the Paris Olympics.
It's like my second home. That's where I feel most comfortable. And being in the ocean and in water in general just gives me like a calm, relaxed feeling. It feels like I was born to be a shark in the ocean, but I'm trapped in a human's body. That's how I feel. So it started at the age of 5 because I broke my left arm. My parents thought, okay, now it's a good way to start to swim because the kid is going to go into bigger waves one day. And if you can't swim properly in the ocean, that's very dangerous. At 2021 First Olympics, I trained my entire life, like 12 years, every day, breathe, live, dreaming about the Olympics from like a very young age. And it takes so much hard work and discipline and dedication. Like swimming is a very lonely sport, and my mom trains me. My mom and my brother actually like coach me. So I know my mom mainly as my coach. So what happens in the pool stays in the pool. I don't believe many athletes can do what my mom and I do to keep this family relationship and the professional relationship separate. But we have been doing it for 12 years and it worked really well. And now going for the second Olympics is just embracing that I'm lucky enough in this world to be talented enough and work hard enough to actually make it to the second Olympic Games. So I'm Philip Zeitler, born and raised in Swakopmund, Namibia, of the land of the brave. I'm a 10-kilometer professional open water swimmer, competed at my first Olympic Games in 2021 Tokyo, and about to represent my country again at the 2024 Paris Olympics for 10-kilometer open water swimming.
We definitely wish Philip Zeitler all the best as he competes at the Paris Olympics. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in to watch Sunset News on this beautiful Monday evening. From me, Glenora Shipura. Until next time.